Okay. Hi. So, first, what's your full name and how old are you?
Braxton Martinez, 24 years old.
Okay. Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely.
So I'll let you talk for 10 minutes about whatever you want. And then after, I'm going to ask you 5 questions and then we'll be done. But how are you feeling right now?
Little overwhelmed
Yeah.
with everything. It was first time going back to church in I don't know how long, probably a year. It was good. It was real with everything that I've been going through in life. Being a male, an athlete, I've always just had this false image of who I should be and how I should act and I don't know, kind of behave, outside of just being by myself. And I wouldn't say it's gotten to an extreme point, but I definitely have noticed my behavior and my patterns going towards like a negative way, at least in my opinion. Just with partying and drinking and doing all kinds of stuff that I shouldn't be doing. But today was a big kind of eye opener for me, just because it's tough to kind of look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, what you're doing isn't right, and you need to get back on track with who you want to be and what you want to accomplish. And for me, I guess sometimes you get lonely and you're kind of by yourself and you start thinking of different things that, I should be doing this and I'm not, or I wish I was with so-and-so and I'm not. And when things aren't going your way, you kind of just get lost. So I just feel like over the past year or so, I've just been lost about who I want to be and kind of how I want to be looked upon by other people. And that has a lot to do with it too. For me, I'm always so worried about what other people think about me. And, like we were talking earlier, it's hard for guys especially to kind of drop the cool guy act and, don't have to put on a front all the time just because of your reputation. Like for me, I was always, go out and party and just get shit-faced and for no reason. Like there's really nothing that I'm accomplishing by doing that. But that's just always been my label. And so like people, I guess, expect certain things from me. And so that's how I've just always tried to hold that up. When really that's a very destructive way to kind of go about my life. And, failed relationships, failed friendships. I just never took the time to step back and figure out who I am and how I can get better from each one of those situations. So for me, taking that step forward and like slowing down on partying and all that stuff, and it's hard because all of our friends, especially our age, all we want to do is go out and get fucked up, and that's not who I want to be, but that's who I have been. And I think about being able to recognize that is the first step for me. That's not who I want to be. That's not how I want to act. That's not the label I want to put on myself. Because I'm in a position as an athlete, as a baseball player, and also as a coach in the off season. Like people look up to me, and with social media and the way everything is, they're not just seeing me as who I am when I'm at work, but they also can see who I am when I'm on my own, if I'm with my friends or I'm out on the town. And people realize that. So for me, I want to be a good role model. I want to set a good example for younger guys like myself to not have to worry about what other people are thinking about you, and who cares if you're a guy. that's the hardest part is, with guys especially, you got to be a tough guy. Nothing should ever bother you. No emotion should come through you, but they do, and they happen to all guys, and I know that's true. And I want to start setting an example for other guys to be like, hey, you can be emotional. You can say what you're feeling. You don't have to do what other people are doing just because it's cool or it's because it's, fun for the night. And I'm in the very preliminary stages of doing that. And today was a really good, wake up call for me, going back to church and kind of realizing, this is who I have been lately is not who I want to be. And I know what I should start doing to kind of go in the direction of living a more positive life, a more healthy lifestyle. And I think, what one of my goals is just to kind of relay that message to other guys, especially my age or high school, college guys. Just to be true to yourself. And that's the hardest part for me, is just to be true to yourself. Not giving in to temptations, which is hard for everybody, no matter what it is, drugs, alcohol, bad nutrition, anything. And it takes some a real look in the mirror to kind of figure that out, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm starting that path of, growing up and being the person who I want to be, not just somebody who's fun on the weekends and, lonely during the week. So everybody goes through hard times. I mean, everybody does. If you think that's not true, then you're crazy. Not everything's been easy, but it's not an excuse to kind of let yourself go and go down a negative path. And I'm starting to figure that out and gonna start going in the right direction. And it takes, you got to cut certain things out of your life, maybe even certain people, which is tough always, because you're so used to the lifestyle that you live, you're so used to the people that you're around. But sometimes you have to get away from the temptations, which might be your friends, they might be your coworkers, they might, be something that you're always around. You have to just know that that's not the direction that you want to go. And I'm starting to realize with certain things that I do that that's not where I want to head my life towards. So kind of in a weird spot, but I feel like it's positive, and I'm really excited for it, and excited to be going back to church, and just kind of letting God take over for my life, where I feel like that's where I should be.
This is awesome. You have 2 minutes.
2 minutes. No, but like I said, I am very fortunate to have people in my life who see the best in me and see the good side of me, because like we were talking about earlier, it's already hard to forgive in general, but it's super hard to forgive yourself. And I'm lucky to have some people that see the good side in me, so then it helps me see that as well. And it's a lifestyle change, but it's something that needs to happen, and I know I'm not the only one out there that's like it. Plenty of people I know, people who haven't even voiced anything towards me, I can tell that, they're not completely happy with who they are, and that's okay. I mean, it happens. It's almost, it takes a little wake-up call to just kind of kick you in the butt a little bit and, getting yourself back on track. And that's what I hope to do going forward, is reaching out to people, reaching out to friends, family who are struggling, and even people who don't even appear to be struggling, just check in on them, see how they're doing. Because for me, I was at a point I didn't think I was struggling with anything. I thought everything I was doing was okay. And then I had a buddy reach out to me and be like, hey man, how's everything going? How are you living? How's everything? And it kind of was like, when I say what I'm doing out loud, I'm like, oh, that's probably not the best, maybe I should reconsider some things that I do, and some things that I say, and the way, like certain ways that I act. So yeah, that's my goal, is to kind of reach out to people, check in on them, see how they're doing, because you never know who's going through something, and especially, people aren't going to always tell everybody. So, and just for me, just reach out to other guys, like, 'cause that's the hardest part. Is guys don't want to talk about their feelings, they never want to talk about what's going on, but we need it, because after a while, you just, you get kind of, sick of things, and you don't want to go down the negative way of trying to overcome things. You want to start going down a positive way, and I think that speaking about it is the best way to do it, and just coming forward and say, hey, this is where I'm at, and this is where I want to be, and just kind of bridging that gap between those two. And that's what I hope to do for people like in my situation.
You're doing that right now. You're gonna help so many people.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
That is the goal.
You helped me today.
Yeah.
So thanks. I'm
Absolutely.
glad that we got to do that.
Yeah. That was awesome. I needed that.
Yeah, same. You ready for the 5 questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fire away.
So, you have to answer them in 1 sentence or less.
Okay.
Question 1, are you happy?
At times, yes, and at times, no.
What is your biggest fear in life?
Biggest fear in life would be to live an unhealthy lifestyle, and for that to translate down to my family that I would have one day.
What brings you the most joy in the whole world?
Honestly, what brings me the most joy is helping people, and then seeing whatever I could have done, help them, and see that positivity come out of them.
How do you feel right now?
Overwhelmed. Definitely overwhelmed, but in a positive way.
Final question. Can I give you a hug?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay!
That was awesome. How'd I do?